Well, Brazil 2, Serbia nil in the first match of the group stage. For Serbia, just completely outclassed today. Brazil, the much better team. Brazil much better in the second half. Serbia a lot worse in the second half. I don't think that the first half was that great either, but compared to the first half, the second half was even worse. Um, Kind of looking at the starting lineup, I think one real surprise, so to say, was Mladenovic starting over, let's say, Darko Lazovic. I thought we might see that just because of Darko Lazovic's experience in like a bigger league at the wing back position, but nonetheless, we decided to go with Mladenovic. I mean, I don't think he was that bad today, and I think the most important part is like we have no answers at the wing back positions against a team like Brazil and their quality. So no matter who we threw out there at those positions, I don't think it would have made a difference whether it was Živkovic who started the match or whether it was Mladenovic, Darko Lazovic, whoever. It just wouldn't have made a difference. And I think the first half we kind of hung around. Brazil had most of the ball, like you would have expected. Just didn't create much of anything really going forward. Lazy passes, short passes, passes that weren't on precision. There was no precision on the passes, and it felt like Brazil was just it's absolutely outstanding or crazy how much speed on a team changes how you work like dynamically and the doors it opens up for you in the attacking sense. We have no speed in this team at all. None. Our only speedy player didn't start the match, which was Nemanja Radonic. When he came on, didn't really do too much anyways, but he's really the only speedster that we have on this team. And I mean, Brazil, when you look around the pitch, you got Neymar, Richarlison, Rafinha, like wherever you look, you have speedy players, Vini, Anthony, like there's just speed everywhere. There's experience everywhere. I thought that maybe, heading into this match, we would be able to kind of threaten them through their center backs, which is Thiago Silva and Marquinhos. We really did none of that. I think the choices that we made in the final third in terms of passes, again, in the precision, wasn't good at all. It was terrible, very poor. And in the second half, Richarlison scores 2 goals. The first goal, he's just in the right place at the right time, so that's credit to him. Like that's the mentality of an attacking player. Like if there's a shot stopped, you want to be the first one there and be able to score the goal or give your team a chance to get the lead, and he did exactly that. The second goal was outstanding. I think so far probably the goal of the tournament. There were some really nice goals in the Spanish match or in the Spain versus Costa Rica match. But I think Richarlison's second goal was really nice. In terms of the back line, I think Pavlovic picking up a yellow card really early on kind of hurt him because then he can't really do what he usually does. He's a really tough player, likes to go into tackles. So that was taken away from him right away. And I think it was like his first or second start of the match. And I think he got a little sloppy, lost the ball, and he made a poor tackle, which you can't do in this stage and against the team of Brazil's stature and of their experience and of their quality. So it kind of puts you behind the 8 ball right away. So the rest of the match, he kind of has to be careful what he does, right? You can't pick up any stupid fouls because those could turn into second yellows, and now we're down to 10, and it could end up worse than the 2-0 result that it was. And I think it could have been a lot more for Brazil. I think they hit the Woodward twice, so the 2, I think they'll be looking at it and saying, we could have got another maybe goal or 2 for sure. I don't think Serbia's threatened at all. Alexander Mitrovic looks injured. When Strahin when Dusan Vlahovic came on, he didn't do well at all, just nowhere to be seen. Ivan Ilic didn't do much. So everyone that we kind of threw on, the substitutes that we made, just didn't make a difference. Sergei Milinkovic-savic, again, when the national team needs him on the biggest stage, is not there. The last World Cup, he had a good 15-minute spell against Costa Rica to end the match. Nowhere to be seen today. Dusan Tadic, again, just every player in the attacking third just really wasn't doing their job. And I think Vanja Milinkovic-savic can hold his head up high. I think he made some really, really good stops, especially right at the start of the second half. When Gudel lost the ball, he came out and was able to stop. I think it was maybe Vinicius who had the shot. I really can't remember. Rafinha or someone like that was able to stop that, and he had another 3 or 4 probably really good stops. He had one on Vini in the first half where he came out and kind of poked the ball away from him. So He's, I think, one of the few players who could kind of hold his head up high. I thought Gudel was decent when he was in there as well. Defensively, but again, we do too much stuff at the back. Like, our weakness is definitely our back line. So, kind of our 3 center backs or the 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. And we still do a lot of things that I don't think that the players are comfortable with, and I don't know why we continue to do it. So playing around with the ball, just being very slow, just there's no real care for the ball at a lot of the times during the match. Like, no one's telling guys that there's a man on, or we're just getting stripped of the ball. And for teams like Brazil, it's going to create chances and it's going to create goals right away. And I don't think that's something that we did good today at all. I don't know if we were nervous or what. That can't be an excuse at this point. You knew you were playing Brazil 4 or 5 months ago, so we've had time to prepare for this match. And again, the wingbacks just don't make a difference. A lot of them don't even play that position in their clubs, so it's kind of a bit of an adjustment for them. And the reason why we kind of play 3 at the back is just because we don't have a left back and a right back pretty much anywhere in our national team. So that's why we kind of have to resort to 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, 3-4-1-2, whatever the case may be. One thing I'll say is we looked a little bit more lively when Vlahovic and Mitrovic were up top. So, I mean, that's not saying much because I don't think we played well at all today. But it was a little bit more lively. There was that one free kick corner kick where we had a decent chance where Sergei flicked on a header and there was a little scramble in the 18-yard box. Nothing came of it, obviously. But yeah, I expected a lot better. I'm going to be honest. There was a lot of talking before the match. A lot of players talking that they're not scared of Brazil and what have you. Didn't see any of that today. It looked like a team that was just caught in the headlights. And like I said, Brazil is much, much faster than us. They made us pay with their speedy players. And like I like to say, speed kills. Like, these guys really took it to Serbia today. And I think that the 2-0 scoreline is flattering for Serbia. It could have been and should have been a lot more for Brazil. Like I said, at least a goal or 2. And, we kind of turn our focus to the Cameroon match, which is next, and then Switzerland, which is the final and 3rd match. Basically got to get all 6 points. I think that's the math here. 3 points is a must against Cameroon. Like I said, we need all 6, but we need a better showing. We need a better showing from our star players, from guys like Mitrovic, from guys like Vlahovic, from Tadic, from Sergei milinkovic-savic. And the thing is, there's talks of injuries and how serious are the injuries. It sucks if we brought in 2 strikers to the World Cup who aren't fully fit, and we can't depend on them. And I understand that these guys have been excellent for us, especially in the last 2 seasons. Mitrovic is already the record goal scorer. I completely understand that, but if they're not fit, then they're not fit. You have Jovic on the bench, who wasn't used today. I can understand that. You don't want to go all out and then concede a lot of goals and then be behind on goal differential. But yeah, I just don't. If they're not fully fit, they're fit to some point because they're on the pitch, but did we make a mistake with maybe bringing in 2 guys who aren't fully fit and who we depend on heavily? Like, our entire system is pretty much starting 2 strikers, and both of those guys are injured, right? So, those are the kind of questions. And when I did my podcast, I asked that as well. Was it the right decision to only bring 3 strikers? Dusan Vlahovic, Aleksandar Mitrovic, and Luka Jovic. I thought that maybe Dan Jovalic had a shout to be on the team as well. But that wasn't the case. We decided to go with an extra midfielder. That's fine, but today was rough. Today was really rough, and I think Brazil deserved to win by a wider margin. Like I said, now we turn to Cameroon and then Switzerland after that, where we definitely need all 6 points to be for sure through. With 4 points, it could come down to goal differential, goal scorer, goal conceded, and that just gets a little bit messy. So to be absolutely sure, we have to get all 6 points. Like I said earlier, Vanja Milinkovic-savic I thought was really good. I thought Milinkovic was good for most of the match, and Pavlic had his moments where he was good as well, but he's still decisive, and some of the decision making needs to be polished, but he's still 21, 22 years old, and I look for him to kind of take that next step in his career. And like I said, looking forward to the next match against Cameroon, which is early, I believe 5 a.m. Local Toronto time, and then the next match against Switzerland is 2 p.m. just like it was today. So again, we need all 6 points from the remaining 2 matches.